Problems with the mic.
What is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to Tactical Tuesday. My name is Trey Miller with Ghost Tactical. Welcome to on the YouTube side and gunchannels.com. Tactical Tuesdays brought to you this week by Code 1 Ammo. Guys, if you need to get some custom ammo, they go anywhere from 380 all the way up to 300 blackout. They can get everything you want to get done. You can get a hold of them at, I'll put on the YouTube link side. It's Kyle at code1ammo.com. I'll get that link put over here on the YouTube side. Tonight I'm joined, as of right now, by two good friends of mine. We're going to be joining a couple others. Will be joining here a little bit later, but let's go ahead and say hello to these two guys. Clovertac, what's going on, my friend?
Not a whole lot. Good to be here, Ghost.
All right, and Night Strike, how's it hanging?
Reporting for duty.
Very good, very
It's my
good.
catchphrase here on Gun Channels, so you know.
No, I understand.
He said duty.
Yes, I said duty. There you go.
Before we get going, guys, on the Goose Driver and Grim, what's up, guys? See you guys on the YouTube side. On the YouTube side, we can't see you out there, so if you're there, go ahead and send us a chat message. Say hello where you are. If you got any questions, let them rip. We'll try to do the best we can to answer them. On the Gun Channel side, we can see you guys, and I just got a message from Dog Body. But on the Gun Channel side, who all do we have right now? We've got Ohio 45 ACP, Ellis, Dog Body. He's driving. He can't join us tonight. He's driving, so we'll get him next time. It's all good. Ellis,
Let's fix that.
if you're out there, I'm going to go ahead and put the link out here in this. And since you haven't been able to join, let's see if that will work, my friend. But guys, before we get going on the show, I do want to talk to you a little bit about Gun Channels. And I've been with Gun Channels now for a couple of weeks. Matter of fact, Clover's the one that got me in on it. And I'd heard about it for a while on Never Enough Ammos and a couple other shows, Daily Gun Show, and I'm going to plug you, Night Strike, but you know, hit or miss. But I've been watching these shows and hear about Gun Channels. I never really joined it. I never really knew what to do with it. Clover said, "Hey, man, you got to go join it." So I did about 2 weeks ago. And man, if you guys haven't joined Gun Channels or you don't know much about it, you need to go and check it out. It's pretty awesome. Hottie, you're on the lake. He can't join tonight, so he's on the lake. Well, if you get a chance and you want to join, let me know. I'll send you the link, bud. But anyway, it's Gun Channels, guys. It's a place out there that that you can be around your own people that are pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment. Most of your favorite live shows they're on during the week are also being simulcasted over on Gun Channels, so it's a great place to hang out. They've got a 24-hour chat that, I mean, it's not just about guns. It can get pretty interesting in there, but really good people. They're very welcoming. I've had a blast the last 2 weeks, and obviously this is now being simulcast on the Gun Channel side. We are going to talk about a couple other things tonight that on the media side that might be coming down the line by some of the people that do your shows and your favorite YouTube channels. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But, you know, what we want to first do is I want to go through the panel. And Ellis, hey, what's up? Ellis finally got in. Ellis, say what's up, man.
What's going on, folks?
All right. So, you know, Clover's down in Texas and Ellis is in Texas. And
Nope,
Night
Ellis
Strike's
is in Georgia.
Oh, I'm Georgia. I'm sorry, in Georgia, and Night Strike's over in South Carolina, but you're from Arizona, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
that,
So
if
I don't know
anyone
if you
go,
claim it South Carolina or not, but you know,
if anyone wants to see my birth certificate, I will gladly show it, because I'm not one of those assholes saying, I'm from Hawaii, but I'm not.
Yeah. It is what it is. But we're going to talk, guys. I know that you guys have been on. Actually, Ellis has been on for a shorter time on gun channels than I have. So I want to let you guys talk about your experiences so far on gun channels. If you're on the YouTube side and you haven't been in gun channels, come on over. But Clover, what you got about gun channels?
Well, I've been on gun channels a couple of months or so now, and it was a welcoming atmosphere pretty much from day one. I got to say, I had some trouble getting in. The thing about gun channels is, of course, I think Not Striking and yourself, and I think we're all featured members, meaning we pay. We basically pay the dues and help support the platform, and that's what it's about.
Plan.
Are you?
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, we all pay. Yeah, you can pay, but you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to, but it's
all that money does is go and help the website and the server stay online. That's it.
I mean it costs money to do this, and it's not that much of a cost if you decide to support it. And there's other things you can do as well. But it's a really close knit community, a lot of varying opinion and a lot of varying expertise, and I'm glad to be a part of it, and really enjoy the content from day to day.
Absolutely. Night Strike, you've been around for quite a while. You're actually one of the moderators on the channel. So,
you know what? I'm going to go ahead and out myself. I'm not only one of the moderators, I'm also an admin like G-Webs himself. So,
how about
if you have any problems with gun channels, let me know first. And if I'm not around, well, then we have to go up the higher chain. And you have to speak to my boss, and that's G-Webs.
Yeah, G-Webs is everybody over here on gun channels really. We probably don't even know most of our real names. You just go by our screen names and call signs, whatever you want to call it. So when you hear G-Webs is one of the guys that actually founded the channel.
He's got 2 YouTube channels. He's got gun websites. He has your websites. That's the guy we're talking about. He just goes by G-Webs. I know his name. He knows my name. He knows, if you've been on gun channels for at least a couple of years, eventually you learn everybody's name. But
that's right.
You don't have to use your real name. We don't care. You can use whatever cool name you figured you want to call yourself on the internet. It's fine.
Absolutely. And I am still very much a newbie on gun channels, but we have one of the actual even newbies joined after I did. Ellis is from Georgia. Is a good old dude. And Ellis, how's your experience been so far on gun channels?
Hey man, it's been great. It's a community. We come together, we talk about guns, we bullshit. We talk about what's on our mind, what's going on. The knowledge that is shipped out from gun channels is remarkable. I've learned in the short time I've been there a whole lot that I didn't know.
Yeah, it's if the great thing about with the 24-hour chat is there's always going to be someone in there. But if you have a gun question on how to build something or how to mod something or anything, and there's someone on gun channels that is pretty much an expert in that field. And so it's a great community. Like I said, the fellowship's been awesome. Yeah, we get into some brotherly arguments about different philosophies, but that's what it's all about. That's what we're there for, is to talk not just guns, but everything about the gun community, Second Amendment, and all that. So we welcome you guys. If you want to come over to the gunchannels.com, I will. I'm going to put a link in there on the YouTube side. We'd love to have you.
One warning.
Yeah,
Be
go for
warned. If you do join the 24-hour chats, realize that we are human beings ourselves. So we can't always talk about guns 24/7. So eventually down the line, we will talk about everything from here to Timbuktu.
Yeah, and literally we've had some major pizza discussions Car. I mean,
pizza and
everything.
beer discussions.
Pizza and beer discussion. So it's a fun time. We love it. Hottie, are you gonna jump in on the gun channel side so I can send you this link? At least log in so I can see, as I can't send it to you on the YouTube side. So if you want to get in, come on in on the gun channels and I'll send you that link, bro. And before we get going to that, I want to say once again, guys, on the YouTube side, if you're here, go ahead and say what's up. We can't really see unless you say something. Ask a question. So I'm going to go ahead and Deuce Driver. What's up, man? Grim. Man, Grim, I need to have you on. Grim's
Grim
everywhere.
is one of the unsung heroes.
Everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Grim's need a guy to get on here. Clover, obviously. Hottie. Warren. My man, Warren Olmstead. He's our local coroner, good friend of mine. Big Racer. Big Racer says, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Big Racer. Deuce says, Pennsylvania in the house, also known as Pennsyltucky. There you go. There you go. So, well, guys, we're going to talk on a couple different things tonight, but I thought what we start with is someone had asked a question in the past week, and I'm going to make it into a little bit different than just a question, but one of it is if I'm going to get my rifle out and we're going to get ready to go for hunting season, whether it's probably, we'll say deer, so you're not using necessarily a shotgun with bird shot or whatever, but we're looking to zero in our rifles. You know, what's the best way to zero it in, and how many rounds would it take usually to get a gun zeroed in? So we're going to pretend as if you're a new shooter and you have never zeroed in a rifle. Get ready for hunting season. So I'm going to go through the panel real quick and talk to these guys and see not only what they shoot when they go hunt, but do they zero in consistently every year, or they kind of know what's going on? They might not even use an optic, so they might not have to zero in. They just kind of go with what they're with. But we're going to go through. We'll start with Night Strike. Do you hunt much?
I haven't hunted in years, so not right now. But
right.
when I did go hunting, I would use a family or friend's rifle because they wanted to use specific rifles when we went hunting, and I was like, sure, loan me a rifle, I'll be fine with that. I didn't use a scope. I used iron sights. Scopes are great, but the issue is, remember, scopes, like any other accessory, can break, but the iron sight is built into the rifle on most rifles. Sometimes it's an accessory, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, and let's say you're not going to go hunting, but you just got your brand new AR-15 and all that. Hey, we got Knives is over there. What's up, Knives? You ate my chocolate, prepare to die. Well, Knives likes the chocolate. But let's say, Night Strike, that you're going to get your new AR and you're going to take it out for the first time. What's your ritual there?
Mostly when I get a new AR or a build. Usually I build and I build my ARs. I don't just go and buy one off the shelf because, well, I live in South Carolina, Palmetto State. So
yeah.
So
what you're saying is you've kind of got a pretty good supplier, pretty close to home.
Yeah, more or less. One of the best in the AR-15 field, I'd say, because Anyways, I normally, here's what I do when I get an AR. I normally get a the carry handle, the iconic A2 style carry handle. I just throw that on there because more often than not, I always get flat top uppers. I don't know why. It happens.
Well, let me ask you this: do you typically use a scope or an optic on your ARs?
I've got on two of my ARs. I've got a red dot, and I've got a scope.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that happened. It just kind of happened. But hey, why the hell not?
Hey, it happens. Clover, what you got?
As far as
we'll go hunting on the hunting side first.
On the hunting side, I don't know. I've got all kinds of things. So,
what's your favorite hunting rifle if you're going to go deer hunting?
Deer hunting, probably the Blackout, probably the SBR.
Yeah, the 300 Blackouts actually, and that's that's becoming a very, very popular outside of hog hunting. It's actually getting outside of hog hunting. It's become a very, very popular round. I love the 300 blackout round.
Right. And around here, I mean, it doesn't require much. I mean, I'm over here in the piney woods, and it's not like West Texas or places like that where you have really long shots. My dad has actually killed more deer than you could probably count with a Remington 1100 and buckshot. So, that's what kind of distances generally you're talking about. So yeah, it works well. The 30-30 is really popular around here too.
Yeah.
Deer. Now myself, I do more hog or pig usually is what I say. And
do you still use your SBR for that, or what do you go to that?
I don't know. I mean, I do probably more coat than anything, and I go at night. I go suppressed. I go thermal, and usually I've got a Ruger American in 308 that chop the barrel to back to 16 inches to help offset the suppressor and that sort of thing. And I'm shooting subsonic, so I can stand to chop the barrel back that far, not really lose a whole lot, obviously.
Right.
And
well, and a lot of people don't realize that the 300 blackout is usually going to be subsonic to begin with, but when you suppress it, there is literally almost zero sound, and it's a kind of an eerie feeling knowing that you've got a large caliber round that is very, very, very quiet. So it's a pretty cool thing. If you never shot a 300 blackout suppress, it's pretty awesome.
Well, you can do it with the 308 as well. I've got a pet load for that 168 grain. You really don't get any penetration, but especially on coyotes. I mean, it's gonna, or I say penetration. You don't get any expansion, but on something like soft skinned, more or less like a coyote, it goes in and you don't get that expansion, but it tumbles and it's nasty.
And now Clover, you reload, so you're going to load your own ammo, right?
Oh yeah, that's 168 grain, like I said, subsonic load, and it trips people out. I mean, it's pellet rifle quiet, and I'm talking pump pellet rifle or something, not a high powered pellet rifle.
Absolutely. Ellis, what's up going on in Georgia? What's the big hunt down there in Georgia?
Well, we got hogs, we got deer, and a bunch of small game. We even got a few coyotes running around here and there. This year will be the first year I'm using an AR.
What's that now?
This year's the first year I'm going to be using an AR for
what'd you get?
Deer hunting. It's a Wyndham.
There you go.
Yep.
All right.
Wyndham.
Nice. Yep. But yeah, there's a lot of coyotes here. We got deer, of course, which is what I'm hoping to be going after later this year.
There you go. How long have you had your Wyndham?
Oh, not long, actually. I've had it since January.
Okay, you've got everything all ready to go, because deer season in Arkansas, starting late November, I believe, or mid-November. Is it the same time in there in Georgia, or when does it start?
Yeah, roundabout.
Yeah. Now, the deer season is big here, but duck season is extremely big here in Arkansas. Down there by a place called Stuttgart, it's a little town down in southeast Arkansas that's world renowned for duck hunting. So duck hunting is pretty big. I personally don't hunt. I have no problem with hunting. It's great. I have no desire to go at dark 30, stand in the cold and shoot. I'd rather sleep in and drink with the guys at the deer camp or the duck club. But so if you guys have any hunting questions, these guys are pretty good. Let's see, we got Deuce says in Pennsylvania weren't allowed to use semi-auto except for waterfowl up until this year. But even the newest update, you're only allowed to use semi for small game, not deer. Going to try the 300 blackout. Big Racer says, yeah, hey man, the 300 blackouts. I mean, that's
aren't they allowed to use black powder?
I do believe they're allowed to use black powder. In Arkansas, we have a huge muzzle loading season. It's probably just as big as anything else. I would imagine that black powder is probably going to be allowed most places, isn't it, Clover?
Yeah, I believe most states have that.
If you haven't muzzle loaded before, it's great for just having fun and all that. But I know in South Carolina, I'm sure they do quite a bit of muzzle loading, don't they?
Yeah, they got lots of muzzle loading. But here in South Carolina, our laws are a little less restrictive in some areas than others. So we don't actually have any restrictions on calibers or on what types of rifles we can or cannot use with hunting.
So you have,
we have
I mean,
freedom.
if you're gonna hunt, you can hunt.
Yeah,
and you're good to go with it.
Yeah, I got 30. Nice. We got 30 acres out back if I wanted to hunt.
Yeah, South Carolina's got some great gun laws.
Yeah. The problem is South Carolina is great for gun laws in some areas, and then it sucks for others. Like say, open carry, no go, not in South Carolina.
You can unless you're hunting or fishing, then you can open carry.
Yeah, but the problem is, what if you're just going to the store? You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Typically, if you're hunting or fishing, you're probably on someone's private property. You're not going to the, like you said, you're not going to the grocery store. You know.
Right. So you know there are problems with it, and some of the Republicans are. They said they would do something, haven't done anything.
Yeah.
It's a big surprise.
Big Racer, where are you at, Racer? Because you said your black powder last 2 weeks, but I don't know when that is. But Deuce says in Pennsylvania, black powder and shotguns are allowed, just no semi-autos. So there you go. I would think that Pennsylvania's pretty darn close to West Virginia, and I think West Virginia, man, there's some good hunting in West Virginia. You can probably get down to West Virginia, have a good time. Big races in North Carolina. So
I was born and raised in West Virginia.
Country roads take me home, man. No, I'm born and raised in Dallas, and I live in Arkansas, but I've been here for 15 years, so it's pretty close to calling it somewhat home. But yeah, in Arkansas, we've got muzzle loading season, which is huge here. But this is a really big hunting state, so they've got deer, duck. I mean, there's big archery here, and I know that Clover's real big in archery. As a matter of fact, he's a big instructor in archery. But archery hunting up here is bow hunting is really big. I mean, Arkansas is a great place if you like hunting. Yeah, you should come to Arkansas because there's some really cool hunts. Like I said, I don't personally hunt, but that's because I just have no desire to go get cold. I did that enough in the Marine Corps, so I don't want to do that. So, Clover, we were talking with you with the Next Generation last week about bow hunting and archery being one of those things that will kind of get people started into hunting and all that. How big is bow hunting down there in Texas right now?
It's honestly not. It's not as big as it is on the firearm side. I mean, not near. And bow hunting is one of them things. Now, let me back up for a second. Bow fishing has really caught on around here.
Yeah.
But as far as the hunting part, I mean, they even opened it up here several years back to where you could use a crossbow. It was bow or crossbow. Now, I don't like a crossbow, but we won't get into why and all of that good stuff. But anyway, with archery, man, hunting and archery is interesting. And if you ever have the opportunity and you're out on a range, I'll tell you something that you need to do is you need to get down range, get downrange wherever the target is at, and get behind a tree. I mean, get someplace safe, obviously, because you don't want to get shot with an arrow. And then get your buddy to back up with his bow about, 25, 30, maybe 40 yards, and cut one loose at that target. And just stand behind that tree, close your eyes, and listen. And you will actually, when you're behind that bow and you're actually shooting, you don't realize the noise downrange. When you're shooting at a deer or something like that, it makes a difference. I mean, that deer's gonna duck, that deer's gonna jump. It's gonna happen. So the level of difficulty with archery is a lot higher than just pulling the trigger on a firearm.
Yeah, I remember, man, it's been a long time. A buddy of mine has a big archery range here about 15, 20 minutes from here, and huge. I mean, he has huge competitions for youth and really, really big in archery. It's pretty awesome. Big Gunner, what's up, man? Hey, you want to join in? Let me know. I'll send you a link. But I remember I used to go out there and shoot them every now and then, and man, I would destroy my forearm. And obviously, I was holding my grip wrong. But is that something that's common, or is that me just being an idiot?
Yeah, no, that's common. People tend to grip the bow, and I mean the riser's vertical, so they tend to grip vertical, and they grip it like they would a pistol, or something like that, where they wrap all their fingers around it and they just hold on for dear life. And there's a lot of finesse with archery. You just want that bow cradled there in that sweet spot between your thumb and your index finger. And if you're doing it properly as far as target archery, the bow should literally, you wearing a bow sling, if you're shooting target archery, obviously, and so it's not going to fall out of your hands. But you want the bow, when you let go of the string, you want the bow to pretty much fall away from you and pretty much fall out of your hands. And what people do is they just they grab it too tight. What you want to do is you want more of a vertical, a horizontal, like if you was to open your hand out like you were saying how, like an Indian or something, or parade wave maybe. But you want your hand more or less open like that, set that riser in that sweet spot, and just kind of grip it with the back side of that index finger and the inside of that thumb, and then roll those other fingers out in more of a horizontal level. And when you do, it's going to bring that elbow and that forearm. It's going to rotate that clockwise, and depending on if you're right hand or left handed, whether or not it's clockwise. If you're right hand, it's going to rotate it clockwise. If you're left hand, it's going to rotate it counterclockwise. But anyway, it's going to rotate it away from the bow and away from the string. And that's the fix for that.
Okay. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people that might have tried it before and then get hurt and kind of put it away and not come back. But so guys out there on the YouTube side, I want to welcome you guys to Tactical Tuesday. This presented by Code 1 Ammo. I want to thank my panel for being here. Guys on the YouTube side, we can't see if you're here. We've got several of the regulars that are here, and if you're out there, say hello, tell me where you are, and if you have any questions out there for the panel or myself, let us know. We'll answer them as well as we can. On the gun channel side, what's up, guys? Ohio's out there. Ohio 45 ACP, Mr. Knives, Night Strike. Well, he's actually in there. Is Night Strike back, or is he still?
I'm here.
Okay. I just saw the back.
Someone just got home and they gave me food, so I figured.
You got to do what you got to do. I didn't have anything to drink. Boy has to eat.
Admit it. Yeah. Somebody stole Knives' chocolate and gave it to you.
I think Clover stole the chocolate, but
I can neither confirm nor deny that Clover gave me Knives chocolate.
Well, guys, we're about, man, that didn't take long. We're about halfway out, and I don't want to, we're going to have to let Night Strike go here in a minute because he's got his own show coming up at the top of the hour, Hit or Miss, and I'll make sure I have the links into that for everybody. But
he's used to missing, so
Ooh. You got to say it right, Ghost. Hit or Miss Tuesday nights, 9:00.
Hey, that's on you, bro. That is on you. I say that too often. I'll start doing that instead of plugging my own show. So
no, we will get you to say it. We've gotten everybody to say it. Even Yankees said it begrudgingly a couple times.
Oh, well, we're gonna jump in real quick, and I always do this at the halfway point of every show. My military moments, and we're gonna talk about something that happened earlier today. I don't know if you guys saw this. This is off of defensetech.org. Another MQ-1 Predator drone crashes in the Middle East. You guys hear about that? U.S. Air Force Predator drone crashed after takeoff from Incirlik Air Force Base in Turkey on Monday, just 4 days after the same type of unmanned aerial vehicle crashed in the same region. U.S. Air Force and Turkish personnel are working hand in hand to keep local citizens safe to recover the aircraft. Our goal is to minimize the impact to our host nation partners while continuing to meet mission requirements. The MQ-1 has proved itself as a strike and surveillance platform, flying an average of 20 hours per mission, especially in the early wars of Iraq and Afghanistan. But the news of the back-to-back crashes comes amid the Air Force's ongoing transition to officially retire the MQ-1 in 2018. Now, we've had discussions on either private chats that we have or on other shows in the last week about unmanned vehicles, and I'm very much a proponent. I think the less of our men that we can get out there and get harmed, if we can use not only unmanned drone planes, but if we can get into, tanks and all of that, to where the least amount of U.S. soldiers and Marines and airmen and sailors are getting hurt, the best. But do these crashes, is this a trend, or is this an oddity that two drones in the same region crash within a week or two of each other? Is this something that's going to be ongoing in this process, or what? What do you think?
I haven't left yet, and I do want to say something on this, because
that's why I brought it up.
We know that the military is really bad about doing maintenance on some of their some or most of their equipment. You know this better than anyone.
Absolutely.
Being in the Marines, and the Marines, getting hand-me-downs from the Army.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So you know how well that turns out. So I can say this. I work with computers, and more or less the insides of those things are just all electronics, straight up, all electronics. So if you don't replace a hard drive, replace RAM, replace whatever specialized electronic card that's in there that is, running whatever navigation or GPS or whatever it's supposed to do, if it's not running the engines for this thing properly, then you're going to see a lot more crashes, because nobody's doing maintenance on them, because they're figuring, oh, why bother? We're going to get rid of them in, in the next year or so anyways.
That's right.
You're going to get laziness. And because you're going to get laziness, you're going to get more crashes. We're going to hear more about it. More people are going to get pissed off.
Yeah. Well, so Clovertac, I'm going to ask you this. Hey, Night Strike, hey, I want to go ahead and preface it by saying thanks for joining. I know that you've got your own show starting here in about 25 minutes. Thanks for coming. You just need to check out. You check out whenever you need to, and I'll see you here in a half hour when I lead into you. But thanks again. Go ahead and plug your show one more time, and tell them where it is on YouTube and on Gun Channels, and I'll put a link out there for them also.
It's on the Night Strike 1 channel on YouTube. It's called Hit or Miss, Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern. All right. I'm out. You guys,
all right. Appreciate it.
Great chat.
See you in a few. I'm going to go ahead and put this in on the YouTube side. I want to put Night Strike's link down there. Hold on. I've got Big Racer. Could be someone trying to take over the drone remotely and failed. Yeah, I mean, they didn't say what the issues have been. I just think it's very, very odd that two in the same region have gone down. And it might be satellite links. I don't know. Clover, let me ask you this. The unmanned aerial vehicles, or just unmanned vehicles in general, is it to the point to where it needs to either take the next step or get rid of it? Or is it going to be evolving consistently and ever-changing, and hopefully we might get it right one day? But I mean, when's enough is enough, where they sit there and say we keep having these accidents? Is it manpower? Is it electronics? Do we need to upgrade, or do we just need to go away from it completely? What do you think about that?
Well, Night Strike, he makes a good point with the amount of tech that's in these things. And we all know that you go to Walmart, or you go to Best Buy, or you go to Office Depot and you buy a computer, and when you do, it's obsolete when you walk out the door with it. It's obsolete before it ever arrived at Office Depot, most likely. And,
correct.
I think we're dealing with an issue where, I mean, they're going to have to increase, would it be increase, I guess, their turnover rate, probably increase their turnover rate with their tech stuff. And especially when it's used in environments like it is over there in the sandbox, because, when you're dealing with tech, I mean, most of that stuff is manufactured, designed, put together in clean rooms and things anyway. So
Yeah, there's not around a lot of sand and dust over there.
yeah, right. And you know, I think the same thing would probably happen if you were in a very humid environment, a lot of moisture and stuff like that. You would probably have similar issues. So, you know, with the service life of those, and you know, I don't know, I don't guess, I didn't see anything with how many hours that they had on them of flight time or anything like that. But you know, I would guess with the use, I mean, it was probably a combination of several things. That being said, I mean, yes, they certainly can be hackable, and they can be brought down with you know, all types of things, frequency jammers, and there's ways to combat drones.
And it's like you said, even if they're you know, hacking, it's been we're not even going to go into hacking because that's going to open up a Pandora's box to a lot of things. But anything electronical that's carrying a signal remotely from point A to point B, someone can intercept that. So, you know, it's just one of those that I don't know if these things are 20 years old or what.
You wouldn't even have to intercept. I mean, if you could block it, you know,
it's going to go down.
And especially confuse it. I mean, if you could confuse it, even you could take it down. So that's all it really needs.
Right. Ellis, what are your thoughts on the drones? Do you like them? Do you wish they'd get rid of them? You know, a lot of people, like I said, if it works, and this is my opinion, if it works, I would really like to see them, because that's just less of our men and women that are going to have to go down there in the front lines. If we can get stuff done remotely, I'm all for it. But you know, when does enough become enough with this stuff? What are your thoughts on the drones and everything else?
I see it as a double-edged sword. I really do. I mean, we've all seen Terminator, you know.
Yep.
And you know, depending on how smart we want to make these things, you know, that could be a reality, and that's a scary thought. Do I think it's going away? No. Well,
but
we need to keep
a
handle on the situation.
as long as we keep a human element involved, where the human, whether it's in Colorado or wherever they're stationed, is still possibly controlling them. You know, I would not want them to go out there and program them to do it themselves. I think there needs to remain a human element in there as well.
Consciousness, you know, and not to get geeky, but consciousness is the issue. Awareness. If it ever comes to the point to where tech is aware and it becomes conscious, then we've got a problem. There's already AI. AI has been around forever. AI is not anything to be concerned about. You know, those drones, and even your drones you go buy, what's your commercial, I guess, or whatever your
Radio Shack before they
the ones that
for you.
Yeah. Right. Radio Shack or you know, wherever you buy, I don't know, wherever you buy a drone. I mean, I've never bought a drone.
They're all over the place now.
But you know, those things have the automatic feature to where, you know, it's AI, and they know when the battery's low, and they know to save enough battery to get back to the place they took off, and they automatically override and go do that, and that's AI.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you ever get to the point that you're letting tech make conscious decisions, then we're in trouble. And so I think it's as long as they're controlled by humans, and humans are making the calls and making the decisions, then I don't see a problem. Now, I would like to see drones, and they're working on some of this stuff where you know, unmanned craft where they're actually using actual fighter jets and actual planes.
Yeah, I've actually I think they're trying to maybe get the Raptor. Did I see something about the Raptor is being,
I believe it is.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, not gonna lie.
You know, you're talking about, you know, having full capability, you know, of fighter jets. So I mean, that increases the game exponentially over a drone as far as payload, what they're able to carry, how far they're able to go, how fast they're able to go, maneuverability, you know, you name it. It's just superior.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think they've invested too much money into this process, and I really hope it doesn't go away. I just think that they need to, you know, upgrade their systems, make sure that the encryption system in these things are to the point to where they're going to have complete control over them. And if it means they had to take the operator from the U.S. and move them somewhere else that's closer through satellites or whatever, I mean, it's, whatever you got to do. I hate seeing two drones go down so close together in the same region. That just doesn't look good. Like I said, I don't know if it's just that region or there's something going on, but having two drones go down, you know, I don't like seeing that because it means there's something wrong with the system. And I think that as soon as people see two drones go down, there's going to be that side of it says, this isn't working. Let's stop this program. Let's quit funding it and let's get rid of it. Well, that's not necessarily the answer. If we can tweak it and make it better, because if we stop it, then what does that do? That puts more humans in the back into the battlefield and in danger, where a lot of these drones can take care of things that might help us save our American lives. So I'm all for getting shit done and kicking ass on the battlefield, but I'll also say if we don't have to have anyone out there getting in the line of fire, then by all means, let's not do that. So we have the technology, so I'd like to see it continue. Let's just fix it.
And
I had a
they,
go ahead.
and they know, there's odds are they know what happened. They know exactly what
They're
happened.
not releasing it, but they know. Yeah, sure.
So it's one of them things to where I'm sure they'll use it, they'll build on it. Whatever failed, whatever will route. And we'll see. Version 2.0, 3.0, whatever. In the future, and those problems will be resolved. But again, I go back to I think that they need to. It doesn't need to be like a lot of the aircraft and a lot of the typical vehicles that we've had in the military in the past. I think the service life needs to be fairly short. Now, that's going to affect cost. They've got to factor all that in and look at all that when they're taking bids and doing all their stuff. But I do think that with tech, they need a lot shorter service life on that equipment.
Yeah, we got a couple more joining us. I guess the Daily Gun Show has finished. His G-Webs is in the house. I'm going to see if he wants to join us or not. Mr. Knives, Enrique, and we got, all right. So this is the power of the internet. So a good friend of mine is on the YouTube side. You saw his name was Warren Olmsted. He's our local corner. He's a good friend of mine. And he just checked in to the Gun Channels page of mine under Corner Olmsted. So he has obviously come over and joined the Gun Channel. So welcome to the dark side. Dr. Gino is over there just chilling like a villain. But Enrique does say, guys, when tech makes decisions on someone's privacy is the real issue. UAVs, as they are actually called, will be necessary. Our enemies will make this tool their least expensive way to bring war to the U.S. forces abroad. Yeah, I mean, it's anytime that you have technology that very few have, the last thing we want to see is one of these things go down and it get in the wrong hands. Because as long as we can have an advantage over other countries, I'm not saying we're the only country that have drones by any means, but I think we probably have more and are probably a little more sophisticated than other drones out there. So, I'm all for the drones. I think that, like you said, we need to update them. I know that Ellis, you're getting ready to say something. So, what you got? You were saying something earlier, I believe, maybe about the drones.
I've lost my whole train of thought listening to y'all.
All righty. Well, it's all good. And maybe if you find it, let me know.
It's the curse of being a Hatfield,
All right. Let me ask you a question. This is a question that came out. Are you actually related to the Hatfields or no?
Oh yeah. In fact, really? I'm not only related to the Hatfields, but my mother was a McCoy.
Oh hell! How'd that Christmas go?
Apparently, okay. I'm still here. I'm always fighting with myself. And that explains that.
I understand. That's pretty cool. I didn't know if it was just happened to be a last name and all that, but
oh no, I'm from West Virginia, McDowell County.
There you
So,
go.
by the way, guys, for you bow hunters out there, McDowell Family is the place to be. Check it out. But yeah, lived in West Virginia until I was about 17 years old. So that's home. It'll always be home.
All right, I got a question from the YouTube side for the panel, and this is actually a good question. Do you guys see a time when drones get some kind of artificial morality? And I don't know if there's such a thing. I don't know if there ever will be an artificial morality. You can program a computer to think, and if this happens, then this is what happens with that. Um, that's why I'm a big proponent of, I'm all for the drones, but I think that there always needs to be a human element involved. I don't think that a computer in a grand scheme of things and in the line of fire is going to be able to decipher what is a lawful and what is an unlawful order on a trigger that you're having to pull. I do believe that the human element might play a good role in that. What do you guys think?
Morality with a machine is man. How does a machine make up its mind what is moral and what is not? You know, you're getting into some really dangerous ground. Let's say we have a machine that, a RoboCop. Let's say we have a machine that can make up its mind to what is good and what is bad. He goes down the street, he sees you throw down a piece of paper on the ground. Morally, that's not right. That's wrong. You're going to jail. You know, do you really want to get to that point?
And you're also just, you have to remember that even if there is a chance of some sort of morality in artificial intelligence, the moral code that computer is going to have is going to be what the programmer wrote. So the morality of the evolving morals is going to happen. As you get older, your morals are going to change. With a computer, whatever you're programmed, that's the way it is until someone comes out and reprograms it. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that artificial morality is not a good thing. Clover, you got anything on
Slippery
that?
slope.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't think there's such a thing as far as, it creates its own morality, or there's going to be anything that goes jinky with code or something like that. That's going to be an input. It's going to be some type of a code or an algorithm. And now the artificial intelligence using that whatever pseudo morality could be designed in a way to where it learns and modifies. So, I mean, if that's the case, then
but I wouldn't call it evolve. I would call it modify. And I don't think they would be able to evolve.
Right. It's gonna self-correct or self-modify. That's certainly a feature that could be put in there. And then you've got the chance of corrupt code. You've got the chance of like we were talking about, viruses and things of that nature too. So even if you had that, I mean, you could have something go rogue and become corrupt and go rogue. So.
And once again, you're talking about programming. So I want to talk about what we did with the drones earlier. If you're talking about an artificial being, those can be hacked. I mean, so all someone's got to do is get into the programming of that, and they can make them turn on their quote unquote owners. So I don't think. We've got a couple of questions. Man, it's bringing up more topics than I thought it would. Raphael says, "Do you think that would be possible?" Absolutely. I think. I don't think morality can be programmed. I think that a list of decisions based on if this, then this, if this, then this. But that's not morality. I think that's just programming in general. Big Racer can only make a decision based on what's programmed. Exactly, unless quantum computing, which has yet been seen. RoboCop wasn't a robot. The human was still inside. That was from Grand. Yeah, you're right. Robots would have to become sentient. Sentient. Big Ray, have a good night. Hey, Big Racer, take care, brother. Come check us out again, and good seeing you again. Anything going on? Dr. Gino on the gun channel side, Facebook has done more to give people artificial morality than DARPA. There you go. No, and I think that the artificial intelligence in the military, I think it's a wave of the future, and I think we're just in the beginning stages. I think you look probably 20 years from now, it's going to look much, much different. And like I said, my biggest hope is eventually it's good enough to where we can pull boots off the dirt, bring them home, and go take care of some shit from 1,000 miles away with drones or what else. Because the least amount of I want the most amount of damage and the biggest presence in a region without with the least amount of boots on the dirt. So that's just my personal opinion. I hope that one day that happens. Let's see here. Dano, I don't see machines going beyond logic, trees as far as morals are connected. Exactly. I mean, 100 years from now, we never know. But right now, I don't think it's going as far as what's programmed in. That's just me. I hope it doesn't, because if it does, then we're going to have a big problem. Robots from Raphael. Robots also must be programmed with the possibility to break the program. That can be dangerous. When robots start to think on their own, or artificially they start to think on their own, quote unquote. I think there's been a couple of movies about that, and not including Terminator, but there's actually been one that's recently that evolved. I can't remember the name of it. It was okay, but it was a weird one. But they evolved and started thinking like a human, and actually didn't realize they weren't human until it was too late, and then they broke away. So
have you seen
enough of. Yeah,
you seen that? I think it was called Eagle Eye.
I haven't.
Had the Transformer kid in it, and trying to recall exactly, but it was an AI type situation. This government AI unit, and there was something about the kid, and he was a threat or something. And I mean, this thing was doing weird stuff through the power grids, trying to get to him. I mean, it was like, it was after him. So,
iRobot,
it was an interesting movie. Grand over there.
Go look at it.
Grand over there on YouTube mentioned what I did earlier about the huge jump between AI and self-awareness, or
exactly.
our consciousness. And that's what I was saying earlier, is that AI has been around for years and years and years. So there's really nothing to be concerned for there.
No, it's one of those that there's always going to be that tech guy out there that finds the new next evolution in technology, and eventually, guys, it's reality, and it might be 200 years down the road, but eventually, there's going to be AI walking around that. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be.
Well,
but not right now.
And you hear things too. I mean, we'll throw this into the mix real quick, just to ponder on. Is you hear about people and they're saying, oh, well, we're trying to map the human brain, blah blah blah, and find a way that we can download somebody's consciousness into a robot. So they basically, because your brain really is you, right?
That's right.
So if they can download that consciousness and personality and everything into a machine, then we got problems, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was talking about is the human element is, once the human element's gone out of a thought process for a machine, what was that old saying that eventually man will depend so much upon machines that machines will take over? Well, there's a certain extent that we're already relying on machines in every single aspect of our lives, but they haven't been smart enough, quote unquote, to revolt against the master yet. But if they ever figure that out, look out. I hope I'm not alive during that time. That would be dangerous. We'll be
we will be seen as the virus.
What's that?
We will be seen as the virus at that point.
Oh, we would be the inferior species at that point, because there's no way we could we couldn't defeat them, because they would have everything that we rely on. They would control. I mean, it would be the Black Ages and Dark Ages, whatever you want to call them. We would have nothing. I mean, they would be able to control everything that we have. And it's amazing what the power of this right here. It's unbelievable. People would shut down their lives without their cell phones, and I'm probably one of them also. And it's just that, man, AI, I hope it never evolves into what it could be, but I mean, there's some dangerous stuff out there that eventually, if the programming is done right and the technology, man, that's going to be some scary stuff. And the military side, like I said, the military side is for what it is right now. As long as it still has a human element, I'm all for it. Let's fix it. Let's find out what the bugs are. Let's, like you said, Clover, let's maintain our maintenance on it, and let's get these guys a chance to come home and do some fighting from over here, and not have to send these guys over there. Got to pass the, what does that say? Darren, got to pass the Turing test. I don't know what that is. I'm not smart enough to know what that is, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few minutes. Like I said, I had about 2 more things I want to talk about, but this took more with the AI than I thought it was. I was going to touch on it and see what y'all thought, and then we move on, but I like it. Kind of got a good discussion going. So we only got a few more minutes before Hit or Miss starts over on Gun Channels and YouTube side with Night Strike. So what I want to do right now is, Ellis, you got any closing things you need to talk about? Anything you got? Go for it.
Hey guys, if you're not on Gun Channels, come on over, visit us, see what you think, join up. A lot of your favorite YouTube guys are right here. You can find them here. Hey, you can talk to these guys. They'll open up to you. You want to know anything, ask them questions. I do.
Clover, I know you need about 3 or 4 minutes yourself just to plug all the stuff you got going. You're a busy man.
I don't know. I can do it pretty quick. First of all, without a doubt, Gun Channels. I mean, go over there, get on Gun Channels. It's awesome. Second of all, you've got a phone in your hand. You've got the capability to create content. If you're into it, if you're passionate about something, any facet of the outdoors or firearms, kick the camera on, make a video, start a live stream. Gun Channels is a great place to connect with some other people if you're a little leery about doing that yourself. Come on with us and kind of get used to it, and then do it yourself, because the more people we have out there doing it, the better. With that being said, I'll be on tomorrow for the Next Generation show. That's at 8 Eastern. And then the After Hours show will be Thursday night at 11 Eastern. And then Firearm Fridays will be obviously on Friday at 10 Eastern. And there's a lot of us that are trying out the MeWe platform. I mean, not MeWe platform, the VidMe platform. Yep. So wanted to mention that. You have to have 50 followers there to take full advantage of the platform. And with some of the stuff going on with YouTube, where a lot of the channels are going over there and playing around. So hit up VidMe if you would, and check out our channels and follow us and help us get up to 50, so we can test that out a little better and see if it's a viable option for us.
Yeah, I just put on the YouTube side, I put Clover's YouTube channel real quick. The next 2 are going to be we're going to go into, I put mine up today, guys, my VidMe. So it is what it is. I started one up, and we're going to see how that goes. So I'm going to put the links up for mine first real quick. Sorry guys, I'm real kind of slow. So there's my VidMe, and then Clovertac, he's already got several. I mean, I've got, I think, 2 or 3 videos up there, but I want to say you've got several up there, don't you, bud?
No, I've just got 2.
Oh, do you? Oh, I thought you had more than that. Oh, it was Travis. Travis has got like 40 up there.
Yeah, Travis has a bunch.
So
I didn't want to get real gung ho until we kind of see what it's all about, because my internet's slow. So I mean, it takes me a while to get them uploaded.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, guys, it is right now. It is 8 o'clock Central, which is 9 o'clock Eastern. So I know Night Strike and those guys are getting ready to start Hit or Miss. So before we go, guys, I want to thank everybody once again for watching. If you like what you're hearing, please comment, like, and share it with other people. Hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff that we're going to talk about. I want to thank Code One Ammo. They're a great ammo sponsor of mine, and they do great work. It's very, very clean. Anywhere from 380 to 300 blackout. Like I said, it's really good stuff. So check out Kyle at code1ammo.com. Email him, and he can tell you what he's got. I ask everybody. I'm relatively new to the game, so I need all support I can get to help this grow. If you like the content that we put out and you like the videos that I put out, like I said, please like and share the YouTube page. If you do come over to gunchannels.com, I want to put that link over there on the YouTube side one more time. But if you do come over to gunchannels.com, make sure you come and check Clovertac and myself and Ellis and all these guys. Come check us out. And if you're in a chat and we're there, man, come say hi. Say, hey, I saw you on the YouTube side. We'd love to have you over there. Check out my website. It's www.ghosttactical.us. Not .com, but .us. Someone already had ghosttactical.com. They don't even do anything with it. So we'll see what happens. But if you're on there, guys, all the links to all my social media, all that are on there. Clovertac has got his website, which is www.clovertac.com. And he's got all of his links over there with some people you can shop with. He's got his online store. On my website, I've got my online store that just came up yesterday. So go ahead, and you think about Christmas stuff coming up. I mean, hell, why not? Throw some gear on. But other than that, guys, yeah, go ahead.
Before we leave, just would like to welcome the newest Gun Channels member, Corner.
Corner also. That's our buddy from my hometown. That's what I was talking about. He came over.
Give him another shout out. That's awesome.
Yeah, Warren, welcome to the family. Like I said, it's the dark side. We're glad to have you, but it's an awesome dark side. Like I said, thanks, G Webs, on the good show. Appreciate you. Sorry you couldn't join us. Maybe next time. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Go check out Hit or Miss with Night Strike, 9 o'clock. Well, it's right now. He's getting ready to start right about now. Hit or Miss on the gun channels or on YouTube. I put the links in there earlier. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And Semper Fidelis.